Hello, students. I really hope you're having a great day. Hope you had a good night's sleep and you are ready to be done with math for the week. We are going to put it all together today with our multi-step equations. We're going to be working on equations that do have subtraction to box in, and they have distributing, and they have like terms to combine, and a variable term that needs to be zeroed out from one side. So when you see a complicated equation, if you just remember to do this in order, you can solve any equation. So we are going to do some samples. Let's start out right here. So here's sample number 1, and of course you're doing this with me, you know that. So box in subtraction right there. Distributing, yes indeed. So 2 times m is 2m plus 2 times 3 is 6 equals 3m plus 2m minus 6. Okay, so we did our distributing, and now we're ready to combine like terms. No like terms on that side of the equation, but we certainly have them there. So 2m plus 6 equals 3m plus 2m is 5m minus 6. Alrighty, 2m and 5m. The 2 has the lower coefficient. I am subtracting 2m from both sides. (5m minus 2m is 3m. And the way I'm going to get rid of that subtract 6 is by adding 6. And I'm left with 3m equals 12. Divide, divide. And m equals 4. So, you might look at the original equation and say, yikes, that's too complicated. But we've practiced every single one of these steps, and you really do have the skills to do these. Let's take a look at the second sample. All right, we've got 5h minus 11h and 3 times 3h minus 15. So I'll start out by boxing in my subtraction, of course. And I'm ready to distribute. There's no distributing here, so I'm just going to copy that. 3 times 3h is 9h. 3 times negative 15 is negative 45. 5h minus 11h. We're ready to combine like terms now. Sorry, I should have said that. We finished our distributing right here, and now we're ready to combine like terms. So 5h minus 11h is negative 6h equals 9h minus 45. And I'm going to keep my subtraction boxed in. And this is actually a case in which it makes good sense to box in the subtraction. So I'm going to choose to zero out the 9h because I want to have a variable on one side and a number on the other. So I'm doing minus 9h minus 9h. Now careful here, negative 6 minus 9, negative 15h equals. So if you had not boxed in this subtraction, it really feels like it's just 45, but it is not. It is negative 45. Dividing both sides by negative 15, and h is 3. All right, we got 2 out of the way. Let's look at number 3. I know, how awesome is this? There's only 4 samples today. So, equation number 3 is a little wobbly, but let's take a look. So I've got subtraction to box in. I certainly have distributing to do. V plus 5v plus 2v equals 9 times v. Whoops, that wasn't too smart, was it? I didn't leave myself any room. So 9 times v is 9v. 9 times negative 1 is minus 9. So we're ready to combine like terms. 1v plus 5v plus 2v, that's 8v, equals, now this is an instance in which boxing in the subtraction is helpful. Lots of kids are going to want to add the 9 and the 2 together and write down 9v minus 11. That's not what this is. You're right that it's 9v, but it's really negative 9 plus 2. Boxing in the subtraction helps you remember what really needed to be done because of GEMDAS. So negative 9 plus 2 is a negative 7. I'm going to take this one and zero it out so that I still have something over here. 8 minus 9 is negative 1, or negative v, equals negative 7. Now, if you think of this as negative 1v, it can be helpful to help you see what you need to do next. And v, in this case, equals 7. So this one actually, in 2 spots, it was helpful and almost necessary that you box in that subtraction. All right, one more sample. Let me find a clean spot on my paper. And here we go. All right, this is unusual. We haven't seen one like this because there's distributing on both sides. So no subtraction to box in. And I need to distribute over here. And then I'm distributing separately on the other side as well. So 5 times 2u is 10u. 5 times a positive 8 is 40. Equals 4 times 3u is 12u, plus 4 times 10 is 40. I'm not subtracting 40 from both sides. I need to deal with the fact that I have variable terms on both sides first. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract a 10u from both sides. 40 equals 12 minus 10 is 2u. I'm ready to subtract. 2u equals 0. Let me scooch this up a little. I'm dividing both sides by 2, and u equals 0. So when you see distributing on one side and then you see it again on the other side, they're really completely separate things. This distributing just applies to this side, and this distributing just applies to that side. Okay, can you believe it? That's it for samples. This is a quick one. And there are the independent ones. I think you'll do well with this. We've really worked on some pretty complicated equations this week. What's the one thing you need to remember? You know, box and subtraction, distribute, combine like terms, and then zero out a variable term if you have them on both sides. Now, the reason I only gave you 3 is because I want you to take it slow and focus on getting them right and not focus on just getting them done. Let me know if you need a hand. I'll sure be thinking of you. Take care, kids. Bye-bye.